Welcome to 5 Minute Python. In today's video, we are diving into one of the most powerful Python library, PyAutoGUI. Whether you want to control your mouse and keyboard or automating tasks, the only thing that you need to know is PyAutoGUI. In this tutorial, I will walk you through everything you need to know from basic mouse and keyboard control to automating your computer and even rendering simple GUIs. By the end of this video, you will be able to take full control of your computer with just few lines of Python code. So let's get started. Before we dive into the coding part, there is one thing we need to understand: how the computer graph system works. Unlike regular graphs where the origin 0, 0 starts at the bottom left corner, but computer graphics start at top left corner. This means the x-axis increase as you move right and y-axis increase as you move down. So for example, 100 200 means 100 pixel to the right and 200 pixel down from the top left corner. So keep this in mind, will make working with coordinates in PyAutoGUI much easier. So now let's get started. Okay, I have split the PyAutoGUI function into 4 main parts to make it easier to understand. First, we have mouse function. In this section is all about controlling your mouse and whether it's moving the cursor, clicking, dragging, or even scrolling. And the second part is keyboard related functions. So we will see each functions one by one. Okay, so let's go with move to function and we'll see all these functions and we'll jump into these functions and so on. Okay, so let's do this. So for the first step is we have to install PyAutoGUI library because it's a third-party library. So first we have to install that. So to install this library, you have to open up your Anaconda prompt, or if you are using Visual Studio Code or any other code editors, please open up your terminal. What you have to type is pip install PyAutoGUI. Okay, so make sure the spellings are correct. Okay, PyAutoGUI. So once you type this and just enter this, and it will install this library. So in my case it's already installed, that's why it says requirements already satisfied. Yeah, just install this library and we have to import that library by import PyAutoGUI. Okay, PyAutoGUI. So here it's imported. Okay, here I will create a markdown for mouse related functions called mouse related functions. Okay, mouse related function, so we can easier to understand which function in this section. So I will create a markdown here, mouse related function. So the first function we are going to see is move to. Okay, move to function. So for that I just calling that function by PyAutoGUI dot move to. Here you can see move to, and if you see the arguments here, you can see there are three arguments. Mainly there are three arguments. One is x and y, and the third argument is duration. I will get back to this duration part later. Okay, so first we will see what is this x and y referred. So here you can see the x position on the screen where the click happens, not by default. So the y, also the y position on the screen where the click happens. So for example, let's say let me see what is my screen resolution. For that we can call PyAutoGUI dot size. So then it will print what is the resolution of my screen. So here you can see it's 1920 by 1080 my screen resolution. So for example, let's say if I want to move the mouse to the center, so it want to be 1920 divided by 1920 divided by 2. Okay, so in x-axis we have to move the mouse to the 960. Okay, so then it will be in the center. Also we have to move the mouse to the center by y-axis, so 540. So if I run this, what it will happen is it just move the mouse into the center of the screen. So let's see what it's happen. Okay, so I will put the mouse here. Okay, at the bottom corner of the screen, and I will run this cell. So here you can see it just jump into the center of the screen, but here you can see just jumping. Okay, so just jumping like, okay, so it's not coming like smoothly. Okay, just jumping. So to resolve this, that duration part is coming. Okay, duration. So if I put duration is equals to 1, what it will do is just coming in a linear way. Okay, so once the 1 second is completed, it will be here. Okay, so here you can see if I run it, so here you can, for 1 second it's just moving the mouse to here. So if I put 3 seconds, it make it even smoother. So here you can see it just coming smoothly. For 3 seconds it just running to the center of the screen. So that's what all about move to function. So the move to function is part is done. So move to function is done, and here I will write no, you don't want write. Okay, so I just write here duration is used to make the mouse movement smoother. Okay, so I think that's enough. And 960 and 540 is x and y. Okay, so x is equals to 960 and y is equals to 540. So this is the center. So in the x-axis 960 is the center, and in the y-axis 540 is the center. Okay, so that way the mouse will be uh, center. Move the mouse to the top left corner. What you have to do, the left corner is in the x is 0 and y also 0. Okay, so here if I run it, so here you can see it just going to the top left corner. So here you go. So this part is done. Move to function is done, and the next, okay, and the next function is move real. Okay, move related to the, so let me explain this function. So here PyAutoGUI dot move relative to, okay, so here you can see move the mouse cursor to a point on the screen relative to its current position. Okay, so for example, let's say if the mouse is in the center. Okay, so if I place the mouse at the center of the screen, so it's like what 960 by 540 or something. Okay, so for example, if I say, okay, let's say a mouse is in the center. Okay, center position is 960 and the center y position is 540. Okay, so move relative to this function take three arguments: x offset, y offset, and duration. Okay, so for example, if I put x offset is equals to x offset is equals to 10 and y offset is equals to 30. So what it's going to do is it's going to increase 960. Okay, so the current mouse position is 960 and flex it will at the x offset 10. Okay, so then it just come like this. Okay, 10 pixel to the right it will come. Okay, so the same, for example, if I say y offset is equals to 30, so it will increment by 30. So in here 540 is the y position, and it just increased by 30 pixel. Okay, so it just 30 pixel came down. Okay, so that's what it will do. So move relative to, okay, so just move the mouse relative to the current position. Okay, so that's what it will do, and the duration is same, just to make it smoother. Okay, so if I put smoother is here. Okay, so let me put here 540 and sorry 960 by 540. Okay, 960 is in the x-axis and in the y-axis 540. Okay, so here just going to the center, and I will run the move relative function. So here you can see just move to 10 x offset 10 pixels on the right and 30 pixels down. So because 10 and 30 pixels are smaller numbers, okay, compared to the 1920 and 1040. That's why it just slightly uh, came down and right side. Okay, so basically the function is, I hope you can you understand what I'm saying. So the move relative to the part is done. Okay, so the third part is click part. This is one of the main part. Okay, click, mouse click. Okay, so let's do that part. So as usual, you have to call PyAutoGUI dot click. Okay, so dot click, it basically like move to function. Okay, so where we have to click. Okay, so in, if we put the center, it will click on the center, and how many clicks. Okay, and x, so for example, if I say 960 and 540, what it will do, just uh, do a click on the center of the screen. Okay, and how many clicks do you want to do? If you say just one, just do one click. Okay, so here you can see, just click one time, so here you can see. Okay, so in the center this cell is here, so here you can see this cell is not active right now, but if I run this, here you can see just make it active. So what it basically mean is just clicking. Okay, at the center it will click. Okay, so this is just click function, click. Okay, so just clicking the mouse. Okay, so that's it. Okay, that function is done. And the fourth function is double click. It's also same. Okay, it's also same. PyAutoGUI dot double click. I think in here click also we have another useful function called interval. Okay, so for example, interval is equals to 0.1. Okay, so we must want to give a small interval. Okay, if not, it's just not going to work properly. So what it will do is, for example, if I say 3 clicks, what it will do is, for example, if I say in here for 1 second, for each second it will click one time. Okay, so it click 3 times, but the interval will be 1 second. Okay, for each second it will click one time. Okay, so totally click 3 times. So that's what this interval arguments will do. Okay, and the duration also the same. Okay, so how much time will it take to uh, click? Okay, so based on smooth. Okay, so for example, so here you can see just make it smoother. Okay, so these are the 5 arguments. Okay, so the click part also done. Okay, I hope you understood what I am saying. So the fourth function is double click. It's also pretty much same. So xy and interval and button. Okay, so here you can see there's another arguments. Here you can see, I think in this function also, here you can see button is primary. Okay, primary mean the left click. Okay, left button, and you can make it right button also. Okay, right. So if you put right, it will click right. Okay, so if I put right, it will click right button. Okay, so that's what it will do. Okay, so the button part also done. So yes, I think xy where we want to click, and clicks, how many clicks do you want to do, interval. So what is the interval between each click, and button, which button we want to click. Okay, so the right button, left button. Okay, right button basically mean primary. Okay, just move to the center. So if you want to 540, okay, and x and y, so you can put the right as well. Okay, and duration, it's basically about the smoothness of the mouse movement. Okay, so part is done by your click. So the same arguments are going to be the double click also. Here you can see xy, interval, button, and duration. All 5 arguments are same, but the only thing different is this function is we can do 2 click, 1 click, or how many click that we want. But in double click we can only do double click. Okay, we can't do 2, 3, 4 any other click. Okay, just double click only. So here I just copy the arguments here, and this click part will be not there. Okay, so we don't want this click part because here you can see the click argument is not here. Okay, so we can't use that. Okay, this is just do double click. Okay, so here you can see, so go to the here and to double click. Okay, so this part is done by AutoGUI double click, and the other argument is right click, left click, and I think these are pretty much same. Okay, by AutoGUI dot left click. Okay, so we can just use this PyAutoGUI click for double click also left click and right click. Okay, so just we have to change this argument. Okay, so these are uh, just separate functions, but here you can see the arguments are same. Okay, so x and y, interval, uh, and the duration. Okay, so it's basically the same. Okay, so left click mean x and y. So in here, left click. Okay, so we don't want these two arguments. Okay, so basically this click argument, this click function just include all these functions. Okay, left click and right click. Okay, right click. Okay, and basically we don't want to learn these three functions. Okay, basically we can do this task with this PyAutoGUI.click function. Okay, so yeah. Okay, the next function is drag to function. It's basically if you want to move some item from a place to another place, what you can do is you can use the drag to function. For example, let's say this is my desktop and I want to move this icon to the center of the screen. So I basically what I will do is I just basically drag the click the item and just simply drag the item and put it in the center like this. Okay, so that's what I will do. So if you want to do this using Python, what you can do is you can use the drag to function. Okay, so let's see how to use that. Okay, so I'll come up here and I will say PyAutoGUI dot drag to function. Okay, so I will call drag to function. So if you see the arguments here, you can see x and y. So it basically means where you want to drag the item. Okay, so and the duration, so it basically the same. Okay, so we have to give a little bit of duration to move smoothly. Okay, so let's say I will run this, I want to run this line when the after 5 seconds. Okay, so I will say PyAutoGUI dot sleep. Okay, so sleep. So for 5 seconds it will do nothing. Okay, so then it will call this line. Okay, so in this line I will say I want to drag to the center of the screen. So I will specify what is my x coordinate of the screen. So it is 960 and y coordinate is 540. Okay, so and I will give a duration of 3 seconds. Okay, let's give it to. Okay, so let's do that. So I will run this and here and I will put the mouse here. Okay, so I just put the mouse on top of the, so here you can see it just drag to the center of the screen. So this is what it will do. Okay, so yeah, that's what is the drag to function. So let's try what is the next function. Let's see. So the next function is drag relative to. Okay, so it's also same function. So let me call it here PyAutoGUI dot drag relative to. So here you can see x offset, y offset, duration, and yeah, so the same. Okay, so it's also the same function is here. Okay, so basically the same function, but it basically use the offset instead of the position. Okay, so let me say x offset is equals to 25 and y offset is equals to, let's say 300, and duration I don't know what that location is. I just giving random values. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so and as usual I give a PyAutoGUI sleep because I can't go within millisecond to the desktop. Okay, so that's why I am calling sleep. Okay, so I'll put PyAutoGUI sleep and drag relative to, and I will run it, minimize the window, and I'll put the cursor above the item. So here you can see it just moving. So here you go, so it's placed the item. So yeah, that's how it's working, drag relative to function. So let's see the next function. So the next function is scroll function. It's basically to scroll your mouse. So let's see how to use that. So I will put it here, PyAutoGUI dot scroll. And if you look at the arguments, there are three arguments. One is clicks and x and y. So clicks basically means how many units you want to scroll, and also if you give positive value, for example, if let's say if you give positive 100, it will scroll in upward direction, and if we give minus 100, it will scroll in downward direction. Okay, so let's run this and see how it works. So I will say clicks and 100, and basically x and y is basically what it will mean is, for example, if I want to scroll from this side, what I can do is I can give this position. Okay, so what it will do, it will basically move the mouse to this part and it will scroll. Okay, so if we give it's none, what it will do is it will choose the uh, default mouse position. Okay, so for example, if I position the mouse like this, it will use the same position as its x and y. Okay, so that's why none is made. So basically when we use scroll function, basically we don't give values to x and y, so I will go with that. Okay, so I just put x and y is equals to none and clicks is equals to 100. And also I will give a small delay, so PyAutoGUI, by calling PyAutoGUI.sleep. Okay, so I will give a small delay of 1 second, and if I run it, so here you can see it will scroll up. So because we give positive 100, so if you want to scroll up more, what we can do is we can increase this value. Okay, so here you can see it scroll more. Okay, so if I give uh, even larger values like 1500, it will scroll. So here you can see, so it just increases scrolling power. Okay, and also if we give minus, what it will do, it will scroll downward. So what I will do is I will give a larger sleep and I will scroll up. Okay, so I will put it here, and here you can see it will scroll down. Okay, so here you can see, so it will scroll down. So that's how it works. And also make sure to use this PyAutoGUI sleep. Okay, whenever you are using a PyAutoGUI function, make sure to use a small delay. Okay, so when we use this function, you can see there are, we can add delay by duration. Okay, but when it comes to here, if you look at the arguments, there are no arguments for delay. Okay, so on that case, what you have to do is you want to add a small delay by yourself. Okay, so I'll tell what it will happen but without this. Okay, so if I didn't give a small delay and if I run this, see what it will happen. Okay, so basically I will run this cell by control plus enter. Okay, so by using hotkey control and enter. Okay, so if I press only control and scroll wheel up. Okay, so here you can see I can zoom in and zoom out. Okay, by scrolling. So see what it will happen. So I will press control and enter. So here you can see it scroll down. Okay, so what it basically happened is it just run this -100 scroll with the control key, because that's that much of fast it will run. Okay, so that's why I will always want to we have to give a small delay. Okay, so if I run control and enter and it wait for 1 second, and the control and enter key are released within that 1 second. Okay, then it will run. Okay, so if we didn't provide this, the control and enter keys are didn't release, and also it will scroll, so it will zoom in or zoom out based on the minus plus value. Okay, so make sure to whenever you use this whenever you will use a PyAutoGUI function, make sure to add a small delay. Okay, so that's a good practice for you. And yeah, that's how the scroll function works. The next function is position function. It basically gives you the position of your cursor. Okay, for example, let's say PyAutoGUI dot position, and if I put the cursor on my top right corner of my screen and if I run it, so here you can see its value is 1800. So it basically the top right corner. Okay, corner value x and y. Okay, so and if I give the top left corner, if I move the mouse to the top left corner and if I run it, it near to the 0. Okay, so here you can see I will move the mouse to the top left corner and I run it, so here you can see it basically near to the 0. Okay, x is equals to 32 and y is equals to 25. So it basically gives you the position of your cursor. Okay, so that's what this position function will do. So basically we completed all function related to the mouse. So yes, okay, let's jump into the keyboard function. So when it comes to keyboard, there is only 5 functions, so let's see each functions one by one. So I will go down and I will write down here, I will create a new cell and I will write a command. So keyboard function, keyboard functions. Okay, keyboard functions, and I will run it. Okay, so I will mark it and I will run it. So the first function is write function. Okay, so let's call that PyAutoGUI dot write. Okay, so it basically what it will do, if you want to write some text here, what you can do is you can put the text here. So for example, if I say I love 5-minute Python, I love 5-minute Python, and I will add a small delay here. So PyAutoGUI dot sleep for 5 seconds, and I will go to the desktop and I have a small txt file. So here you can see it will write, okay, I love 5-minute Python. So I close that. So that's what it will do. Okay, for example, if I run it and if I put the cursor here, it will write that here. Okay, so I love 5-minute Python. So here you can see I just write I love 5-minute Python, but it just write the text quickly. Okay, so if you want to make an interval, or if you want to make it like human writable, human is writing, what you can do is you can add interval. Okay, so I'll say for each character you want to give a 0.1 second interval, and then you have to write the next character. Okay, so I will do that and I will write again, and I will put the cursor here. So here you can see a smoothness. Okay, so here you can say I love 5-minute Python with a smooth ending. Okay, yeah, so that's what basically PyAutoGUI.write will do. Okay, so the next function is press. Okay, so let's see how it does work. So PyAutoGUI.press. So if we look at the arguments, there are 3 arguments. One is keys and presses and interval. Okay, so keys is a list. Okay, so we have to provide which key we have to press. For example, if I say if I want to press S and presses how many times we want to press. Okay, so let's say I want to press only one time, and interval I will say 1 second, 0.1 second. Okay, so I will give a small. Okay, so as usual I will put a small delay. Okay, by PyAutoGUI.sleep, let's say for 5 seconds, and I will run it, and if I put the cursor here it will type S. Okay, it will press S. So here you go, just press S. So if you want to write more than or press more than one press, what you can do is you can add more characters. Okay, D, F, and so on. Okay, so here you can see I will run it and put the cursor here, and it will type that. Okay, so SDF. Okay, so if you want to write if you want to do more than one press, what you can do is I'll just get rid of these 2 functions. It does work if you have that. Okay, so for make it easier to look the things easier, I just put one character here and I'll say press 5 times. Okay, and for each interval, for each 0.1 second, it will press S. Okay, so here you can see it press S for each 0.1 second it will press. So if I increase the interval for 0.5 second, you can see some delay. Okay, so here you can see there is a delay. Okay, so that's how press function is work. Okay, so the next function is basically key down function. So key down function is basically it just hold down a key for couple of just hold down the key. Okay, so for example, if I say key down, and for example, if we press shift, if we hold the shift and enter something, it will write down in capital. Okay, so here you can see it just write down in the capital. So what I'm going to do is I want to hold down the shift for I say, so PyAutoGUI.key down. Okay, so I say this function, it basically hold down a key. Okay, so I say this function to hold down the shift key. Okay, so what it will do, it basically hold down the shift key. Okay, so as usual I'll add a small delay here, PyAutoGUI.sleep for 1 second. So right now my caps lock is off and I will run it. Okay, so now if I run it anything, so here you can see if I write something, my keyboard caps lock is basically turned off, but if I write something, here you can see everything is in capital. So it basically what it will do, it just holding the shift key. Okay, so if you want to release, what you have to do call is PyAutoGUI.key up. Okay, but
here you can see if I type something, everything is going on uppercase. Okay, so to release this in manually, what you can do is you can press the shift key again for a couple of seconds, and if you type something, it will be in, it basically release that. So if you want to release that key in automatic mode or in Python GUI, what you can use is PyAutoGUI key up, and you will key up the shift key. And as usual, we have to practice this by PyAutoGUI.sleep. Okay, I will put a 1 second of delay and key up the shift function. So that's what key down and key up functions will do. So the next function is hotkey. This is a very useful function. Okay, hotkey function. So let's see how this hotkey function is work. So PyAutoGUI.hotkey. So hotkey is basically in any OS, if you press some key combination, you can do some actions. Okay, for example, when it comes to mostly all OS, if you press Ctrl and F, it will open up the find box. So here you can see just open up the find box. So it usually it works on all web pages and code editors. So here you can see if I press Ctrl and F, it will open up the find box. Okay, so if you want to press the Ctrl and F with the program QA, what you can say is I want to open control, I want to you have to press the hotkey Control and F. Okay, so this is the hotkey. So now what I will do is time.sleep as usual. I will add a small delay by AutoGUI.sleep for 5 seconds, and I will run it. So here you can see it will open up the find box. Okay, so here you go. So just open up the find box. So that's what the hotkey will do. So there is a lot of hotkeys out there. Okay, so I don't know many of them, but you can search on Google for hotkeys and you can figure out more hotkeys, and you can try on this. Okay, PyAutoGUI.hotkey function. Okay, so that's how the hotkey function there, and you can add more than two. Okay, so you can add 1, 2 and more than one. Okay, so if you wanted some other keys, you can add. Okay, so also you have to consider that PyAutoGUI has a standards of keyboard keys. Okay, so if you look at this list, you can find the characters. Okay, so make sure the spellings were correct. Okay, so sorry, maybe if you add another L, it doesn't work. Okay, basically the capital symbol is it doesn't matter, but make sure the spellings were correct. You can check the spellings in this list. Okay, most of the case you don't know these keys. Okay, so for browser back there is a lot of keys here, but you have to make sure the spellings were correct. Okay, so so control right. Okay, so it's something like this. So if you type control with a space, it doesn't work. Okay, so make sure to no, avoid the space and it is okay. So make sure to refer this list. Okay, so yeah, that's it for keyboard function. We saw every functions related to keyboards on PyAutoGUI. So the next part is, so yeah, so the next part is graphic user interface related functions. The first function is alert function. Oh no, we are not going to see these functions in this order. First we are going to see the prompt function, and then we are going to see the password function and alert function and confirm function. Okay, so let's start with prompt function. So let's go here and we will write down the command. So the command is graphic user interface related functions. Here related functions, and make it to the marker. And yeah, the first function we are going to see is prompt function. Okay, so PyAutoGUI.prompt. So here if we look at the arguments, there are three main arguments. Okay, text, title and default. So we are okay, let's use the text as text is equals to what is your name. So what is your name, and just write down what I'm writing so you can understand later. So the next thing is title is equals to, let's say name okay, name, and the next argument is default. Default, we don't want to use anything, but I'll just write down some underscore. Okay, there are 4 underscore there. So now I will run this. Here you can see in the default section there are 4 underscore that I have put it here. So I just get rid of that. And what is your name? So this is the text. So text will be appear here, and the title of the window will be the name. Okay, name of the title. Okay, so if I change it here, it will change. Yeah, okay, so if I say my name is 5-minute Python, so here you go, it will output that. So it basically give a variable, so I will store that here. Okay, so I will run it again, and what is your name? 5-minute Python. And yeah, and if I print the name, so here you can see print name, so it will output 5-minute Python. So it basically output a string variable. So the next function we are going to see is password. So password is also output a function. So really we don't want to, we can use any variable. Okay, so just I will use password for now. Okay, so PyAutoGUI dot password, and the same. So here text is equals to, what we can use is enter your password, enter your password, enter your password, and title we can call password. You can use anything. Okay, so it's just up to you. So I'm just going with password, and default we don't need to give default. So I'm just put it here, and I'll run it. And if I write something, instead of appearing the value, it just fill the form with a star. Okay, so once I give OK, and if I print the password, it say what I wrote. So here you can see, and in here you can see if I write something, it will fill that with star. But also you can change the star to any other markers. So for that, what you have to do is, there is a argument parameter called mask. So mask, and here you can put any other syntax. So in this case I will go with plus. So if I run it and type something, it will write down that in plus. So, and if I print that, it will say what I wrote. So that's what password will do. So the next function is alert function. So it basically didn't output anything. Okay, it just it doesn't output anything. Okay, so here we can give some alert. Okay, so for example we can say make sure to include numbers and in your password, okay, so that is the title or text. Sorry, that's the text. Okay, so this is the text, and title is, let's say, alert message, password wrong or something, and button is equals to, you can call something. Okay, so button, let's say, let's go with okay. Okay, so okay, so let me run this. So here you can see just output alert message, and in the window you can see window title is alert message that I wrote here, and make sure to include numbers in the password. Okay, so that I wrote it here, and okay is the button. Okay, so if you want to change the okay button to just okay, just get rid of a and y and run it. So here you can see, just give the okay button. So yeah, so that's what PyAutoGUI.alert method will do. So the next function is confirm. So let's run that PyAutoGUI.confirm, and here you can see it's also same, but we can give 2 options. In alert we can, there is only one option, you can only press OK. So when it comes to confirm, you can give options. So here I will say text is equals to what we can ask, let's say, okay, are you a male? Okay, are you a boy? We can ask, okay, are you a boy? So there is only 2 options. Okay, yes or no. So, and in the title I say gender, and in the buttons we can provide, what we can provide is, in the tuple we have to provide the options. Are you a boy? You can provide yes, or otherwise you can provide no, and I will run it. So here you can see, just say yes or no. If I say yes, it will output. So we can get this as a variable. So gender is equals to this, and if I say yes, and if I print gender, it will say yes. Okay, so if I say no, you can see it will say no. So that's how graphic user interface related. There is these are the only four graphic user interface related functions in PyAutoGUI. So that's it. So let's move on to the next section, which is screenshot and image related functions. So let's move on. The first function is screenshot. It basically to take a screenshot. So let's see how to use that. So I'll go down and create a markdown here. So let's say screen related functions, and mark it and run it. So here I will call that function by PyAutoGUI dot screenshot. And if we look at the arguments, there are three arguments. One is image file name. It basically refers where you want to store the screenshot, and the region, and it basically refers which portion of the region you are interested in, okay, to take screenshot. So if you want to take the whole screen as a screenshot, what you can do is you can provide region is equals to none. Otherwise, what you can, I will explain that later, but what you have to do is you have to provide x and y width and height. Okay, so we will see this later. So if you want to take the whole screen as a screenshot, what you can do is you can provide none. Okay, and all screen basically refers if you have more than one monitor. Okay, so if you have more than one monitor, you can say this is equals to true, so it will take the all screens as a screenshot. Otherwise, if you want to take only primary monitor screenshot, what you can say is you can say all screen is equals to false. So let's go with that. So image file name. Now where you want to store the image. So basically I want to store the image on my working directory, so which is dot slash. Okay, this is my working directory, and I want to store the image with the name of screenshot1.png. okay, so I want to store the image in screenshot1.png, and you can use any other extension as well, like jpg, jpeg, and etc. Okay, that's up to you. And region, so right now I want to take whole screen, okay, all my screen as a screenshot. So I will say region is equals to none, and the third argument is all screen. So right now I want to take only my primary monitor screenshot, so I say all screens is equals to false. So by default it's false, but I just for fun I will put all screen is equals to false. Okay, now let's see, let's run and see what happens. So I run this. So here you can see it just take a screenshot of our screen. And if I look at my working directory, so here you can see it just store the image here. Okay, screenshot1.png, here you go. So let's see how to use the region function. So region function, okay, so region function, it basically a tuple, and it first we have to provide x. Okay, x is equals to 0, and which is, this is the 0, and y also 0. Okay, so you know the top left corner is 0 0, and width and height. Okay, so let's say width is equals to 200 and height is equals to 300. Okay, I am interested on this region. Okay, so if I say screenshot 2 and if I run it, so here you can see it just crop that part and store that image here. Okay, so I just reload this. So here you can see screenshot 2 is here, so just crop that part and basically take a screenshot. So that's how the region function works, sorry, region argument works. Okay, so let's see the other functions. So in this video I'm not going to cover these three functions, because I'm going to cover these functions in my later projects. Okay, so I'll upload projects on PyAutoGUI later, so I'm going to cover this function on that, because it doesn't make sense if I if I explain this here, so I will explain that on my project section. Okay, so let's skip this, and if you guys interested, just feel free to go and just check out these functions and let me know in the comments what these functions will do. Okay, so just comment below. Okay, so we will see these three functions and we will skip this. So the next function is pixel function. So let's go here and PyAutoGUI dot pixel. So it basically take two arguments, one is x and y. So what it will say is, so if you want to provide a coordinate, for example, let's say this coordinate xy, so it will give you the RGB value of that pixel. Okay, for example, I will provide a random area. So let's say I said 345x. Okay, in the x 345 and in the y 600. So it's something like this. Okay, so I don't know. So the position is something like this. Okay, so and if I run it, it will give you the RGB value. Okay, so red 13 and RGB mean basically red, green, blue. Okay, yeah, red, green, blue. So red 13 and 70 23, blue is 23. So by combining these three colors, this color is created. Okay, so it basically gives you the RGB value of the position. Okay, so the next function is pixel matches color. So let's check that. By AutoGUI dot pixel matches color. So and if you look at the arguments, it's also same, but what is the difference is it will take x and y, also it will take a RGB color. Okay, for example, let's say I will say x and y is equals 345 and 600. Also it will take a value of RGB value, so I will put this RGB value. Okay, so basically this position RGB value is this. Okay, and if I run it, it said, sorry, wait, 73 RGB, expected RGB color. Yeah, x is equals to 345. Okay, I created a new cell, so that's why it's throwing error. So let's provide another number like 700 or 900. Let's say 900 and run it. So its RGB value is this. Okay, so I will provide it here and run it, and it is 900. Okay, it is 900. So here you can see it says true. So basically what it will do is it's get this position RGB value and check with this RGB. Okay, so if these two RGB values are equals, it will say true. Okay, so if it doesn't, it say false. So for example, if I change the color to like 76, it say false. Okay, so because the color matching is not, those two colors are not matching. Okay, so this position pixel color and this color is not matching, so that in that case it's say false. If those two are matching, it's say true. Okay, so that's what pixel matcher color function works. Okay, and the next function is size function. It basically gives you the size of your screen. So we already saw this function. So if we call PyAutoGUI.size, it will gives you the resolution of your screen. Okay, so here you can see say the width is 920 and 1080. So this is my screen's resolution. Yeah, so I think mostly we have covered all of the PyAutoGUI functions. The only remaining functions are the ones, these three are the only remaining functions. We will cover this uh, on our project. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy the video and we will see on another video. Thank you, bye.